Yagnascha vivita pura. Yagnascha vivita pura. Aum Tat Sat. This is considered to be the threefold symbol of Brahman. By this were ordained of old the Brahmins, the Vedas, and the sacrifices. God tells Arjuna that Aum Tat Sat is considered to be the threefold name of Brahman. Through Aum Tat Sat, at the beginning of the creation of the world, the Brahmins, the Vedas, and the Yagnas were ordained. Shri Krishna begins a very important topic. If a person performs a yagna, a tap, austerity, gives dan, donations, and does all of this, then all the parts of these were discussed early in this chapter, including the parts of the mode of sattva, goodness, rajas, passion, and tamas, dullness. But in the end, going towards the final part of this chapter, Shri Krishna says that the attitude that one should have is that Aum Tat Sat is considered to be the threefold name of Brahman, and from this the Brahmins, the Vedas, and the Yagnas were ordained. You look at how Aum Tat Sat is the name of Brahman. First of all, it is written in the Taittiriya Upanishad that Om iti Brahma, Om is Brahman. It is described in our scriptures that when all the dharmic literature of the world was being churned, then three Vedas became manifest, the Rig, Yajur, and Sam. Therefore, the essence of all the Gnan wisdom of the world is of the three Vedas. When these three Vedas were being churned, then the Gayatri Mantra became manifest. The Gayatri Mantra is the essence of the Vedas, and it is the cream of the Vedas. And when the Gayatri Mantra was churned, then the one Pranav Mantra became manifest, Om. Om is the ultimate peak of Indian spiritual scriptures and thinking. Om is a soundless sound. When the ultimate state of silence manifests in a human being, then they can hear the sound of the Omkar. It is fine to chant the Omkar, and we chant it in practice, but in reality, we have to listen to the sound of the Omkar rather than chant the Omkar. We should certainly chant the Omkar so that we can attain the qualifications to listen to the sounds of the Omkar, but we should be able to hear the Omkar from within. The Omkar should be manifesting from the navel region. If there is a deep well and you go and say something to it, then it echoes that come back are such a big sound that's coming from the well. In the same way, the sound of Om manifests from the navel region with the sound of Om. When we're in the peak state of meditation, and the bliss one gets at the time results in place, time, circumstances, and nearby, and everything wilting away. It is what we call a floating experience, as if you're floating in space. One only gets experience while listening to the Omkar. It can happen in two ways. First, time falls away. Therefore, many times when you open your eyes while listening to the Omkar, and you began at 6 a.m., then you're surprised that it's only 6:10 a.m. or 6:15 a.m. This is what happens. You feel like you had this experience for a long time. Therefore, what is a small period of time from our perspective expands so much, or in reality so much time has passed, yet we do not realize. This can happen many times. 2, 3, or 4 hours have passed, and if you look at the clock, then it has gone from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. and you do not even realize. You felt that you were sitting there just now. Either time expands a lot or time is compressed a lot. But you only realize when you come out of that state. Otherwise, if you're in that state, then you do not realize how much time has passed. You also forget about the place you're in. It is a divine experience to listen to the sound of the Omkar. Each and every one of the chakras begins to awaken. You begin to attain the powers of each and every chakra. This is Brahman. Peace in all three worlds of Bhur, earth, Bhuva, space, and Swaha, heaven, is attained through the Omkar. I'm not describing Om in a lot of detail right now because I've done so in the 8th chapter. I'd written about it for pages and pages and spoken about it for hours and hours. Those who have heard the 8th chapter will remember this. Peace in all three worlds is attained through the Omkar. The working of the Omkar is tapping. We have the experience of acupressure that if our head is hurting and we go to an acupressurist, then they'll take our fingers and press on our finger. Those who do not know what acupressure is will find it strange that they're pressing your finger when your head is hurting. But there is a reason why they're tapping there, that the points of the head are there in the finger, and when they're pressed, then the pain of the head goes away. Just like the acupressurist knows the points of the body on the outside, in the same way our spiritual thinkers have understood a lot of the points on the inside, and if those points are tapped into and put pressure on, then the inner power becomes manifest. We have an abundance of energy inside us. We do not even know how much energy we've been born with. And it makes me sad when a person says, I have nothing inside me and I don't know all of this. You have no idea how much power is inside you. Those who have experienced this know that there's an abundance of energy inside them, but it is as much energy inside everyone. From the presence of the Omkar, this inner consciousness and this inner power becomes awakened, and the wish to make good use of it begins. The penance of the Omkar is there to tap into, and the pressure, the inner chakra of the nervous system. If it is chanted in the right way, then when it is chanted after breathing, pressure comes into the chakras inside the body, and the energy becomes released. I'll tell you something very important, that people spell Om in English as OM. This is a mistake. Even in Gujarati, you could not write the Omkar with only the equivalent letters of O and M. You should keep the total form of Om with A, U and Ma, A, U and M. I would go even so further to say that you should not even play around with its construction. Many people play around with the construction of the Omkar through artistry and creativity. One man, he may have had a nice reason out of equal respect for all religions, made efforts by keeping the left part of the Om and combining it with the cross of Christianity and the moon of Islam. He then spoke out saying that this is a symbol of the oneness of Hinduism, Christianity and Islam. He had to suffer very bad consequences. He became nobody after that. The reason for this is that what he did was a nuisance. You cannot play with this. This symbol is not like a common picture where you can make some changes in the way that cartoonist draws a cartoon. You cannot change it. No type of change is possible. Om is a vision of the result of thousands of years of tap, austerities of the rishis. It must be symbolized in an exact, precise way, and you cannot change it even graphically. There is a rhythm in the Om. When the seeker is performing meditation, then he has a vision of the Omkar during his meditation. And the type of vision he is getting results in a reflection of the Omkar being manifested through this rhythm. You should see an Omkar written by a seeker who is performing the meditation properly. You will be able to see such a power in it, and not only that, but the vision becomes centered there. It is easy to focus your mind on the shape and on that symbol. How is this? I'll explain it to you psychologically, that when the vision begins moving, then it does not come out of it and it keeps moving around on the inside. Concentration becomes straightforward. This is an extremely important part of the Omkar. The Omkar comes when the three sounds of A, U and Ma come together. By chanting A, one attains bodily peace. By chanting U, one attains mental peace. And by chanting Ma, one attains intellectual and spiritual peace. I explain these subjects in detail as well as how to chant the Om during my meditation discourses. Om is Brahman. Then Tat is said in Aum Tat Sat. Tat is after Om. In the Taittiriya Aryanyak, it is written that Tad ivi teva etasya mahatva bhutasya nama bhavati Tat. Tat is the name of Brahman in the form of the five gross elements. It is a major quote of the Vedas that Tattvam Asi. You are that. Tat means that. You are that. You are Brahman. Therefore, Tat is the name of Brahman. And Sat. In the Chandogya Upanishad, it says that Sadeva Somya Damaka Asi. When there was nothing in the world, then there was Sat Brahman. Before the creation of the world, there was only Sat Brahman. In the Chatur Shloki Prakaran, in the 9th chapter of the 2nd canto of the Srimad Bhagavad, it is written that Aham Eva Samavagre. Before the creation of the world, only I was there. This is Sat Brahman. Shankaranji says that the chanting of the Aum Tat Sat is the greatest repentance of all sins. Aum Tat Sat. Shri Krishna will even say this later in the Gita. In the next 3 verses, God describes the individual greatness of each of the 3 syllables of Aum Tat Sat. Tasma